Hey guys, it's WooGs here again. Next video being the Cobra. This is something I want to try for a while. I kind of got around a few different builds. I was trying it with the classic, you know, double plague that I like, or Bartuk's plague, Andes, a bunch of stuff. But I ended up settling after the Fade nerf. I ended up settling on this setup kind of similar to what Knives did for the number 4 kill. You check out his kill, it was pretty cool. Which was using the Jade Talon for res and then maxing burst of speed so you can kind of ignore the crep. I also have IS in my Bartuk, so I can ignore the both types of decrep that are in off the Void Knights. It also gives you really good movement speed. The issue you have with Cobra is really damage, because you want the damage to be enough that you can one-shot the Void Knights, and that's really the breakpoint you need, and then after that you worry about health, so you really can't fit many jaws. You'll see here I'm doing a strategy which is using these thawing chilling pots. They give you 25 gold res, and it lasts for 30 seconds, but it stacks, so I used a bunch of theirs to do 10, 11 minutes, but I was gonna keep it a couple more just so I can last longer in P3, but I forgot. So that was kind of a misclick on my end. But I did it now once you're in the fight here, and then it's gonna last all the way for the next 11 minutes. So if you don't have enough cold res, you can kind of do that as a strategy, which is definitely helpful, because it wasn't even that I couldn't find the charm, as I didn't have the spots with this gear to fit in that cold res. So you see the movement speed is really, really good here to dodge damage. It makes it very easy to dodge spires when you have this kind of a burst of speed, so I would definitely recommend it over Fade now, just because the Fade nerf, my max Fade was, I think, 5 res difference than using the Jade Talon, so it's really not that useful. This is the first time I've done Cobra without a plague, though, and it surprisingly was still good. I was maybe overvaluing plague a little bit, but based on the damage in the fight, it seems that you don't really need it that much. P1 is probably your easiest phase for sure. There's not much that can kill you unless you get hit by a bunch of spires. Kind of, that was pretty silly there, but I really like this build because you get to do the dragon flights around. So you do want to make sure you have decent AR so that your dragon flight also will connect when you cast it. It's not just about your AR with your claws, you need to have decent AR with Dragonflight. The nice thing about max claw block is you have like 51% chance to block any projectile, so that's the P-Nova, that's the spires, that's those poison balls there. You cannot block the spears though, since they do percent life. They're unblockable. But pretty much everything else in the fight you can block. So that 25 cold res I got from the chilling pots is still active now. So it's going to last all the way up until the game timer, which was when I used it, plus the 11 minutes, or 10 and a half minutes. So for the damage, the key is you really want to be able to one rotation kill Void Knights if you can. If it takes 2 or 3 rotations, you're pretty much going to get blown up or FHR locked and die. So it's a bit of kiting, going in, getting off your rotation, flighting to the next, and then repeat. The build I'm going to show, that's kind of what I could put together at this time of the season. There's a lot of different solutions you'd have. I actually really wanted a circlet, but I could not find one that was better than a Shaco, which should be easy. I would be looking out for a PLR one. That way, PLR plus res would be really good. There's a realm where you get all res on your circlet, plus on your AME, and then you could actually avoid using Jade Talon and then use 2 Bartucks, for example, and have really high damage and really low stats, which would get you about 3k life. So that's probably a pretty good option as well. So the damage looks really good, but honestly you can't cut too much damage here because I had a run before this where I had less damage and like 300 more life, and I ran out of pots in P3. I just couldn't, so I had to save an exit. I just couldn't finish. So you see there, I'm basically just shy of a single rotation, but a deflate 3 charge does seem to kill it. So if the Void Knights are grouped and you get to jump on them, it's actually the best arrangement you can get. Like here, I unfortunately got blocked. Getting down the physical knight's the most important. Then you just kind of want to move around. Find your opportunity to deflate in. Take it slow. You don't really want to just keep face tanking. You kind of want to walk around, listen for spears, and then find your entry with the Void Knights. I have very low fire res, only 82, so I'm trying to kill the Conjuring Souls right when they come up. See, phase 1 and phase 2 are very easy, so you can actually keep a bunch of chilling pots till now if you want to be more safe to not have to rush your timer, which would be the correct play. I took a lot of damage there. What I should have done is ran out to here and waited for them to kind of separate a bit or pull away and then fight them. But fighting Rathma against the wall with the knights is a good way to die. Yeah, so we're not worried about pots at all in P1 and P2, so that's why we can do the chilling pot. I've made quite a few Cobra videos over the past, so sorry if I'm not talking too much about this one, but it's a bit, I don't know, repetitive, I guess, but I really like Cobra. It's one of the more fun builds to do, but it is a bit challenging unless you get really good gear. So there's some improvements I would want to make, but it's a bit challenging at this phase of the season to really get that good of stuff. So what I would normally do is keep 5 minutes worth of chilling pots till now, and then you just use them now to make sure they last through P3, because right now we're at about 8 minutes, so you know I got like 2.5 minutes left, so I should have obviously didn't mean to click them all, but I was not really paying attention. Because you don't really need any for P2, so you just use some for P1 and then some for P3. But right now it's still active, so I'm okay for the overcap. In P3, you really just want to damage. If the bosses are close together, that's ideal. Hitting them both with the Cobra spells is really ideal to get the maximum DPS. Otherwise, just focus men down. I'm hitting Rathma too, just whoever's close to me, just to get the damage down. Because there's just consistent damage in this fight now, that if you try to take your time to get a perfect situation with Rathma or Mendel, you're going to end up running out of pots. So. Now I was trying to hit Rathma there as well, just to try to get the knights out. Because I wanted to avoid hitting Mendel phasing plus the knights, but you see there I was in a bit of a bad position, or groove. I was getting hit by a lot of damage, so. You can see having 2.8k life is not ideal for this fight. You definitely want to be higher. Any big spell will chunk me to almost dead. So that's a really good spot for a second, but they moved to get double damage. But here's perfect spot to get maximum damage. So I noticed that there's a few Conjuring Souls out. That was a very good Void Knight phase. I was able to come back in Dragon Fight to finish them all off. I'm going to clear that one, and I'll probably go clear the other one in a second as well. I did try to Dragonflight over the sludge, which you can do, but I got rooted, so that didn't really work. See, I think with Burst of Speed is really the difference maker here, because being able to dodge a lot of these spells relies on the movement speed you have. I would say movement speed is equivalent to getting extra health, because you're able to dodge more attacks than you would otherwise have to face tank. That's a pretty good Void Knight spawn. The issue being is that the bosses are really targeting me right now. There you go, we cleared out all but the one over there. So keeping track of the Void Knights is important. See, I knew the position of those three, so I knew kind of what pathing to kind of take there to ensure that I could kind of hit them and move towards, so I'd be ready to Dragonflight the next one. Now it's still pretty dangerous with just the two bosses out, since you're in melee range with very low health. And I seem to have, I don't know, I don't think those spears were going to hit me, but they did. Now that Mendown is dead, you have some good timing that you could just take it a bit slow. Listen to the spears. Take your time. Of course, he spawned a whole bunch of 3 Conjuring Souls, which was very annoying. But I just wanted to finish the fight. Yeah, so that's the Cobra Sin. I'll go through the gear shortly here, but I think what's important to see is I'll just gotta show how these thawing pots work. So you can see here my max res is 102, and then it goes up to 127, and that'll last 30 seconds, and they stack, so 2 of them last a minute, etc., etc. So you can do the same with antidotes to do 25 poison, and spam a bunch of those. So there's a Jade Talon for the 45 all res, Venom Ward with 2 facets and jaw, and then I also am running 48 FHR. You see, we have our quests, Tsunami. 2-socket bar tucks with IES slam. This is why I hit above 57 IES for the decrep. Decrep is minus 50. I'll need plus the 7. AR Raven. The boots, I was able to do 20 faster run walk because of burst of speed is not so important. You see, I don't have much room for res, and I'm just on the line for everything. But 39k Cobra was what I went with. Max weapon block, max burst of speed, and I just dumped the rest into claw and dagger because I have high AR that I don't need to max that first. Yeah, so that's the Cobra sin. Hope you guys liked it. Take care.